Hey, welcome back, government class. It's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. I'm thirsty for some knowledge, some American government knowledge. Woo! Can I get 2 claps and a woo? I didn't hear you guys woo. Not feeling it, huh? All right. No worries. I get it. One last class of American government, and then you are done with this for the week. And if you take a look at that schedule over there, seeing as how you guys just had spring break, we had a major test beforehand, and no weekly review quiz this week. I just took it off. It was number 5 there. I, with the little eraser, this guy just took it right on off. For you. I did that. For you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I expect some type of gift in the mail. Soon. Anyway, it's Thursday. It's March 18th. Let's see what we got on the board. Last class review. Yep, as always. Bill/law announcement. Woo! Let's take care of that now. Let's interrupt your normal proceedings to talk about one thing. When we learned how a bill becomes a law, I said, it can start in the House and work its way through and then go to the Senate and work its way through. Or it can start in the Senate and work its way through, then go to the House of Reps and work its way through. Doesn't matter where a bill starts as long as it gets through both houses of Congress. That's true in almost every situation, except any bill that involves the ched, baby, the lettuce, the cabbage, the young moolah, baby. Any bill that involves money, taxing or how they're going to spend money, anything that's involving money, specifically a monetary bill, must start in the House of Representatives. Must start in the House of Representatives. Now, why do you think that is? Probably because it has more representatives, more people, so we can represent the country better. The Senate could just pass and be like, yeah, sounds good, but that's just 2 people for every state. There's a lot more representatives in California than there are senators. Same with Texas, same with New York. So if we're going to make a bill that affects people's money, maybe it's taxes, maybe it's, spending, maybe it's budget, anything kind of economically speaking, it's going to start in the House of Reps because there's more people there for better representation across the country. It would be harder to pass in the House. So we started there. All right? Put that in your notes because, that bell right there, you know what that means? That's a test question. Guaranteed that will be on a quiz next week. It'll be on a test later on. Any bill talking about the economy, economics, and money, got to start in the House, okay? Got to start in the House of Reps as far as the U.S. House of Representatives goes. Now, what do we got today? Let's take a look. Powers expressed, implied, and denied. All right. We're talking today. We're going to be doing some work about some of those powers we talked about last class. But we got a new one here. This puppy right here. The powers denied. Oh, look at that. Nice little Christmas colors there. Denied. That's what we're talking about today, with expressed and implied powers. However, first we got to review last class. So last class, few things. I don't have a funny video or an old-time video for you today. Very simple. We talked about delegated, concurrent, and reserved powers. Delegated powers are for the national government. Good. There are 3 types of delegated powers. There are expressed, which are simply what? Maybe you got that one, maybe you didn't. Express powers are specifically written in the Constitution. That means you can go to the Constitution, find that power, boom, there it is, right there in the Constitution. An implied power is different. I told you it was the opposite last class. It is the opposite. Here's what the opposite means in this situation. If you imply something, you don't say it. You just kind of hint at it. So if you and I were hanging out right now and you breathed heavily on me and I was just like, oh God, that's bad breath. I may not say, dude, your breath is kicking today, man. You need a Tic-Tac. That would be something I would express. I could imply that your breath is really bad by saying, hey, did you brush your teeth today? Right then and there, I'm like, yo, dude, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it, if you know what I mean. That's an implied power. Congress has implied powers. They're not written in the Constitution, but because something is written, it implies another power. And then finally, reserved powers. Reserved powers are powers for the state. So when we talk about reserved powers, we talk about things like not creating laws. We'll get back to that. We talk about establishing local governments. So each state can say like, hey, we want a government in the city of Mesa. Mesa has its own government. We want a government in Scottsdale. And they create and they regulate those. We talked about how they get to run elections. However they want to decide to run an election, they get to do it. They can also regulate interstate commerce. Commerce is money, all right? They can regulate how they work with other states as far as money, taxes, imports, any kind of thing like that. And then, of course, they can protect the public's health and welfare. Those are all in the book. Those are all in your notes or in your reading. So hopefully you got those, put them on the board. Now, as far as, it's not up there. I thought it was up there from last class. I'm losing it. As far as the delegated powers go, powers for the national government, what were some of those? A lot of you guys said, declare war. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a huge power of Congress. And that's a huge thing to focus on. The president doesn't declare war. How about that? I bet you thought the president did declare war. They do not. They have to get an official vote of Congress. Congress has to declare war. So the U.S. government, that's one delegated power. Another one, they make Young Mula Pepe. Does Arizona have different money than California? Nah. We all use the dollar, right? Everybody in the United States uses the dollar. The U.S. government makes those dollars, all right? That's a delegated power. Another one, they can establish courts. They can conduct foreign relations, meaning they can sign treaties, all that good stuff. Those are examples of delegated powers. Now, concurrent powers are things they can both do. We know number one, a concurrent power is they can both make laws. We talked about that last class. Another one, they can both borrow money. They can say, yo, we a little short on funds, so we're going to borrow some money. Maybe they borrow it from another government. They can do that. They're allowed to do that. And, of course, establish courts. They have state courts and they have federal courts. If you break a state law, you go to a state court. If you break a federal law, you go to a federal court. And is there anything else? Anything else? Laws? Oh, duh, it's about to be that season too. Taxes. That's right. Some of you don't even know yet. Some of you do. Some of you have had jobs and have worked and had taxes taken out. Both federal and state governments. So a concurrent power is that they can both tax. Yeah, for those of you without jobs who haven't had one yet, I'm sorry. Get ready to see that first paycheck and be like, what? Nah, y'all got this wrong. No, they didn't. You got taxed federally by the U.S. government, and you got taxed also by the Arizona government. They're just taking all your money. But anyway, that's what we talked about last class. That's a 5-minute review for you. So hopefully you got all that information on that handout, the graphic organizer that I sent you today, last class. Now, for today, we're going to be talking a little bit more about express powers and implied powers, but diving in deep to those two and learning about a few of them and what exactly implied power relates to what expressed power. However, there was a power we didn't talk about last class, although maybe you did read about it, and those are powers denied. What that means is that there are some things that the government can't do. That's right, the almighty, powerful, all-willing, all-encompassing United States government can't do whatever it wants. Can't do whatever it wants. There it is. They can't. It's impossible. There is laws. There are specific things written in the Constitution saying the government cannot do this, and it certainly can't do this, and it can't do this. That was one way the founders of our country were very smart, and they said, hey, we just came from a king who had all the power in the world, could do whatever he wanted. Let's make sure that we deny the government some power so that they can't get absolute power and do whatever they want, because that's never a good thing. You're going to do some research on all three of those today. Expressed, implied, and denied. I have sent you a research handout. That's right, 2. One on Tuesday, one today. One was a graphic organizer today. We're not reading. You are doing some research. You're going to need to research in the United States Constitution. So, using your laptop, using your computer, using your phone, shoot, if you have a book, or if you want to go to the library and do it old-fashioned, you do it that way too. But you are going to research expressed, implied, and denied powers. I've sent you the research handout today. It is in your email right now. Send it at 8 o'clock, all right? You have 3 specific areas. Starts with expressed, and it tells you to look in the Constitution. It'll tell you in specific parts. It'll say, hey, look at Article 1. Look at Article 2. Look at this section of Article 1. Look at this section of Article 2. And it'll have you fill out some stuff, all right? We're going to look at implied powers. We're going to learn about some specific express powers and what that means for the implied power. What implied power is here because of this express power? You have 3 or 4 of those that you're going to be researching. And then finally, the most important, the powers denied. You're going to be looking at least 3 things that the government can do. Now remember, all this information is in the Constitution of the United States. So while you're researching, that's where you should be researching, all right? Be looking in the Constitution. I put some hints on here for you. I tell you, hey, look at Article 1, Section 9 to find these powers. Look at Article 1, Section 8, numbers 1 through 17, and list some things here. So as long as you follow the directions on the research handout, you should be good to go. All right? That is it. That's your assignment for today. It doesn't say it up here. We got this picture of $1, I guess, Ben Franklin on the 100. I don't know. It's the best I could do. I'm sorry. It's not on the board, but your assignment is to complete that research handout. That's what you have to do for today's assignment and attendance. If you have any questions, as always, I'm here. I got the laptop open. Email me as soon as possible. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and hopefully we will get you through this research. And when you are, there's no weekly review quiz, all right? That's it for today, guys. Get that sheet back to me today. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'm here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and an incredible weekend. And we will see you guys next Monday. Take care.